Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So you may recall in a very recent video, we were working on modifying a tailstock, and I'll put that up near the end somewhere. And operator error, I got some chatter going and I completely blew up. Well, not completely, but I really damaged this diamond cutoff wheel. I've had this wheel for a long time. It hasn't gotten a ton of use, but I bought it a very long time ago. And I got looking at the price to replace this, and this is a good old made in America. It's been rebranded to the industrial supplier I bought it from, but I believe this wheel was originally made by Norton Grinding Wheels. And a replacement cost on this wheel, I looked into it, and it's just about $400. Really don't want to spend $400 to replace this. So one of you guys told me I should look at AliExpress, and that they have really cheap but good diamond grinding wheels there. So I went ahead and I found one that's very close for $18. Now I have no idea what's going to happen here. This is a 1/16 wheel, this is a 1/32 wheel, so it's even narrower, which is great for being a cut-off wheel. Also, when I'm working on the ends of tiny end mills, this will give me a better result. This is a 120 grit diamond wheel, and as near as I can tell, this is 150 grit. So reasonably close. I don't know what's going to happen. I haven't tried this yet at all. It's brand spanking new, right out of the package. We're going to run both of these today. We're going to compare the heat they generate, how much wheel diameter gets lost, if any, and a couple other metrics, and how long a cut takes, for example. And we're going to compare these, and we're going to see how much better, if any, a $400 wheel is over an $18 wheel. So real quick before we get into it, we got a really neat surprise a little while back. Mark over at the YouTube channel Rotary SMP gave a shout out to our channel, and it was amazing. We got all kinds of extra views and all kinds of extra subscribers, and I got, of course, we were very thankful. And I got looking at Mark's page and all of his videos, and he's got some amazing stuff going on. I couldn't believe it. Just the other day, I watched him cast and machine pistons for a 3-cylinder rotary engine that he's scratch building for some sort of bike. And it was just amazing. You guys got to check him out. I'll leave a link in the description. I also enjoy Mark's demeanor and sense of humor, as well as his content. So I really recommend you check him out. First up is our domestic wheel, and I'm going to set it up. We're going to do the exact same test with both wheels. We're just going to run this one first, and we'll see how that goes now that it's damaged. I've damaged a lot of things, so I do realize that this is still going to work, even though it's in such rough shape. This will have a very slight effect on the test, but I expect this is going to work just about as well as it ever did, even though I've damaged it so badly. We're pretty much set up to begin our little experiment here, our test, and I'll just run through quickly what I've done to make this the way I want it to be. So one thing I've done, I've dialed my spindle true to the ways of my table, and the reason is I don't want my wheel passing through the cut on an angle. I want it passing bang on straight. I've also dialed my motorized workhead center in bang on to the ways on the table. And the reason there is basically the same. I don't want my wheel passing through the carbide end mill shank at an angle. I want it to be nice and straight. I've also got my wheel at the exact center height of the spindle. And the reason I've done that is I don't want the wheel trying to climb up over top. And I did tighten my vertical travel lock. I've got it locked right up. I don't normally do that. I normally leave it snug, but after the episode where this wheel got so damaged with that chatter, I'm a little gun shy, so I've made that just a little more rigid. I've also got my entire setup shortened, and so that will make the setup more rigid and less likely to chatter. So I'm pretty confident this is going to work out without chatter and without further damaging this wheel. I've got my dust collector set up here because I don't want to breathe in the carbide dust that comes off of this thing. And so we're pretty much ready to go. I've measured the diameter of both wheels and recorded that. We're going to measure, we're going to record how long it takes to make each cut. Now that's the least important thing to me. Grinding is just another form of machining, and with machining, great patience is required. And so I don't care if it takes a little longer to make a cut. What I want to see is which wheel loses the most diameter. That's going to be the most telling part of this to me. I'm also going to do some subjective sort of things. I'm just going to feel after the cut and see how hot everything's gotten. It would make sense that the slightly finer wheel would create a little more heat, but it's also thinner, so it's removing less material. So this isn't a perfect test, but it's going to give us an idea. Is this even in the realm of the same quality as the wheel that's so much more expensive? Or is it just a piece of junk that's going to fly apart as soon as I touch it? We're going to find out together today. Dust collector on. I'm going to spin the workpiece at the same speed for both cuts. Adds a little more consistency. I'm going to get in close, just touching, and I'm going to start my stopwatch and let's see what happens. So that was wanting to chatter. I'm not at all happy about that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow this down even further, and then we'll start the test over again with a fresh cut. I've got my wheel going quite a bit slower. As you can see, I've got a much bigger pulley on the driven end. I'm also going to spin my workpiece slower and see if that helps. I've reset where I'm going to make my cut so that we can start right from scratch again. I'm going to touch off, then we'll start our stopwatch. We'll try this again. So that's not working well at all. Even though I've slowed my wheel down and slowed my part down, we're still getting chatter. I also tried reversing the direction that my workpiece is spinning, still getting chatter. I don't know why. I suppose it's possible this wheel was damaged by chatter, and so I suppose it's possible that the pattern of damage on this wheel is promoting chatter. Just like in a lathe, when you take a cut over a chattery spot, that chatter just wants to get amplified into the next cut quite often, and I suspect that's maybe what's going on here. But we're not giving up. We're going to figure this out. We're going to be able to make this cut here eventually, and we'll learn what it is we came here to learn. What I'm going to try next, I'm not even starting my clock because I'm partway through a failed cut. So what I'm going to try next is I'm going to try a cut with the motorized workhead not spinning at all, and I'm going to see if that has any effect on this chatter. Okay, that's actually working real nice. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remeasure the diameter of my wheel in case I lost a little of it, just experiencing that chatter earlier. And then I'll start into a fresh cut here so that we have a meaningful time. And we'll start this again and we'll see how we do. Incidentally, I did lose 14 thou on the diameter of that wheel because of that little bit of chatter for that short amount of time, 7 thou per side. Not good at all. I've remeasured it though now, and we are getting a cut that's chatter free. So we're going to start this over, and we'll have some hopefully real results to share very soon. I don't know how well it's going to come through on the camera here, but that cut's working very well. I'm not perceiving any chatter at all, and so I really shouldn't be losing an awful lot of wheel, but we'll find out. So I cut until the end mill fell apart here, testing for heat. Zero noticeable heat, Basically still feels room temperature. Now I'm going to check and see if we lost any wheel diameter on that one. We lost 2 thou. So it cost me 1 thou per side of diamond to make that cut. I can live with that. That cut took 1 minute and 41 seconds. Maybe round that off to 1 minute 42 seconds. Doesn't really mean much on its own, but we'll compare and we'll see how the other wheel does compared to this. We're all set to go. I've got the new super budget friendly import wheel mounted up here, and I've got it dialed in, and we're going to run it the exact same way we ran the last one because that was our chatter-free results, and we'll see what happens. I'm excited, a little nervous, don't want to blow this new wheel up, but maybe an $18 wheel is gonna blow up. Nothing I can do. Let's find out. I am keeping my face out of the line of this wheel. I mean, it's spinning real slow. The really light material, I'm not super worried about it, but it just makes sense. If something were to go wrong, you wouldn't want your face in line with the wheel, because that's where things are going to get damaged. Quite a bit quieter. That's one thing I'm noticing right away. I'm not perceiving any chatter. I'm going to keep my wheel clean. This is a slightly finer wheel.
Wow, is it ever quiet?
Smooth, eh?
Yeah.
Now part of that is because this is slightly finer, and I wouldn't be surprised if part of that is because this is a continuous cut, whereas the damaged wheel was an intermittent cut, and so that could explain also why it's significantly quieter. It does not seem to be suffering at all. I mean, when we measure it, we'll know for sure what exactly happened here. This is going to take a little longer than the last wheel, but again, that's the least important part of all of this to me. What I really want to see is how much wheel I lose. How long it takes is very, very subjective. I mean, I get to pick how fast I turn the wheel, so it really doesn't count for much. Well, that's just buttery smooth.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell the wheel's not blowing apart, so far, I am super happy with this wheel. Can't wait to measure it, that'll be very telling. Okay, and stop. That took 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Again, that's the least important part of this whole thing to me. Gonna check for temperature now. Start by tapping it really fast. Not really feeling much heat. No heat at all. Let's measure it up, see how our diameter withstood that. Wow, I am super happy with these results, guys. Made a beautiful clean cut. It felt and sounded really smooth, really gentle, not harsh at all. I only lost 1 thou off the entire diameter of my wheel.
Oh, wow.
That's super exciting. You know, what that's telling us is that I'm going to get a lot of good long use out of this thing. And I'm super happy with this. I think we've, not super scientifically, but to some extent, we've answered the question, is an $18 wheel any kind of replacement for a $400 wheel? And I'm going to say, heck yeah.
Yep.
It's one heck of a good replacement. Now, if I learn anything new on into the future, I'll share it with you guys. But I'm calling this a huge success. I did pick up a couple other really cheap diamond wheels while I was at it, and so we're going to do similar testing with those as we move on in the future. But I'm calling this a huge win for the import wheel. I could not be happier with how that thing took this, and I'm just tickled to now own this new wheel at a really cheap price. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys and girls. Before we leave, though, I just want to mention if you're interested in this kind of content, consider joining us over at Patreon. We just had our first live stream over there. Had a bit of hiccups with the audio, but I think people that tuned in for that really enjoyed it. I know we really enjoyed it. It was different and new. Another thing we're doing over at Patreon is here we skip a lot of steps. We say we're going to dial something and then we disappear off screen and then we come back and it's dialed. Well, that's just one example of places where we're going to go deeper on our Patreon page, and we're going to show and explain in even greater detail how we're accomplishing these things. So another fun thing that we're doing just for our Patreon members. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.